Welcome to the Last Chance franchise. What we're going to start off doing this week is we're going to take a look at some news, and we're obviously talking about draft news here. We've got two players here. CJ Hadden, who people thought would follow his father to the Olympics, but instead he chose to play wide receiver at Georgia, and the same can be said about Michael E Hinton in terms of clearly their attributes as speed, because he was a sprinter for Pittsburgh, but recently made the switch to playing cornerback for them. So two guys here who clearly have burners, and listen, we're old school, we like speed, so we'll be keeping an eye on them, and we're going to start we're going to start scouting. We can't draft earlier than everybody else. That would be clearly, obviously, cheating. We're going to start scouting these guys right now, and both of those we'll be keeping an eye on. So here we go, taking a first look at this year's draft class. The number one guy right now is Douglas Thornton, a power back out of Tennessee. Now, if he's a power back with a bit of speed, we'll definitely be interested, but where we're going straight away is to CJ Hardin, the deep threat out of Georgia. Fits exactly what we want as well, so we'll add him to the watch list right now before even scouting him, because obviously just worth keeping an eye on. We know that good news like that affects development, affects everything that you want them to be affected with. Let's take a look at the cornerback, see if we can't find where this other guy was. Michael E Hinton here, also a first rounder, also fits us perfectly. So they're added to the draft board, and now let's talk about how we're going to draft people, or why do I keep saying draft? Let's talk about how we're going to scout people. So obviously we're looking at most positions, but there's a few we're not looking at. Quarterback, we can pretty much forget about. We're happy there. Wide receiver also isn't crazy big need, but say CJ Hadden's there where we could take him. Some would say he's as good as we're led to believe just by the fact he's fast and fits our, scheme. Then we would take him, but that is a running back. That is the number one spot for us right now. Obviously, offensive line, defensive line, the trenches need to be, made better as well, but they can be done in later rounds. So scouting out of the way, it's going to take a little bit of time to really figure out exactly how we're going to do it this year. So right now, we're not doing anything perfectly by any means. Now, the fact that Larry Fitzgerald wants to negotiate does annoy me a little bit, because I was kind of hoping he'd retire so I wouldn't have to feel bad if he left. But, if he's looking for one more year, we may give him that, but we'll base that on how this year goes. You don't, in week 2, re-sign, a veteran that's already on a one-year deal for you. You wait till late in the season, you can kind of tell where he's at. So, we won't be jumping into a deal with Larry Fitzgerald anytime soon. Everything else we've looked at, let's get into the full episode. It is week 3. The Chicago Bears are up next. Let's take a look at this 1-1 team. So they've won one game, they've lost one game. Let's take a look at what they look like. For the Bears, of course, Mitchell Trubisky is important, but what I think is even more important is this man, Jordan Howard, 87 rated running back. He's strong, he's fast, he really doesn't have any weak points. And of course, they've got Tariq Cohen, a man from Reboot Franchise, who will come in and spell him and probably do some good work there as well. The wide receivers, they've brought in Allen Robinson, who of course is a big receiver that will cause problems, but of course Patrick Peterson will be put up against him to see what he can do. Taylor Gabriel coming in with the speed. JJ Nelson, of course, has left us and he's with him, so we've got a returning player, and that can often spell trouble. Now we look at the defense. Akeem Hicks is, of course, one of the leaders there, but they've not got bad players either. They brought in Jonathan Hankins, Eddie Goldman, a big figure there in the middle. The outside linebackers, pretty interesting. Roquan Smith, the rookie, of course. Leonard Floyd could cause us some problems, but the cornerbacks, they're not bad either. Kyle Fuller, pretty good. But I like the safeties, Eddie Jackson and Adrian Amos. These guys are who you have to look out for. Amos, an 89 rated player there. Very good. A strong safety who's got the hitting ability with 73 strength, but 93 speed as well. He is faster than Eddie Jackson, who is known for his playmaking abilities as a returner and a pick six machine. Well, not a machine, that's slightly overstepping boundaries, but he scores points on defense, and he's got less speed than their hard-hitting strong safety. It's not going to be an easy game against these boys. Those young Bears looking to get something going in this season, and we're looking 2 wins, probably 2 wins nobody really expected from this team. But we managed to wrestle them out. They've been close games. If something doesn't go our way, if we get unlucky with something, we could very easily have lost both of those games. So against the Bears, there's no games off as we struggle and scrap and fight for every single point and every single yard we can get this season. Well, let's get into the game. So here we go, two teams at the beginning of a new era, and we'll be trying to get another win here at home. Obviously a great start to the season so far, and let's see if we can carry it on here. 1st and 10, we're looking for a pass with Rosen, but instead Rosen is sacked immediately by Aaron Lynch. Not a good start for him. A young rookie, you need to get into rhythm here, but he does on 3rd and 5 find Cristian Kirk for a 1st down. 1st and 10 again, dropping back to pass. Rosen with some time finds Kirk, loves to go for Kirk. This is one of the better rookie-to-rookie connections we've seen in a long time. And on 4th and 10, we'll go for a field goal here from the 28-yard line. And Roberto Aguayo taking advantage of this last chance that is getting 1st and 10 now for the Bears offense. And a good block pass there. No chance for Mitchell Trubisky to find a receiver. And they try and run, and he is stopped behind the line. Bostich was there, and he was also brought down by Odighizuwa. Then 1st and 10. Trubisky rolling to the right and getting caught, but Harrison kind of pushes him forward, and they end up going for a field goal. No, they don't. They go for a fake, and they get to the 2-yard line. Chase Daniel taking that one, and 1st and goal. They get a quick touchdown here, and they're up 7-3. We can't believe we let them trick us on a fake field goal on a 3rd and 12. Rosen looking to pick it up himself, stopped a couple of yards shy. And now 3rd and 9 for the Bears after they get possession again. And Trubisky looking, finds a receiver, but he doesn't get the 1st down. Back with possession. Eddie Lacy now looking to run and running over people. I think that was Eddie Jackson lying on the floor there. And Kirk again on this deep hook, and he gets the 1st down. 1st and 10. And Rosen is taken down by Akeem Hicks. The ball is out, and the Bears recover. And it's a turnover there on a sack. We've not been protecting Rosen well enough, and we pay for it there. But they try to run for it 3rd and 7, no points for them, and we on 3rd and 4 find Brent Selleck for the 1st down. 2nd and 8 now, 19 seconds left in this 1st half, and again, it's a sack by Akeem Hicks. It's a forced fumble by Akeem Hicks, and the Bears ended the 1st half with a field goal, and now they're in the 2nd half, and on 3rd and 3, they're getting a 1st down. 3rd and 4, we've got chances here, but right now we're not taking advantage. 3rd down defense, not good enough, and tackling not really good enough there, allowing people to get past us, missing a lot, and they go for it 1st and goal, but Patrick Peterson will not be taken advantage of in a one-on-one situation, and we come out on top. Patrick Peterson with the interception, and now 3rd and 4 as we try and capitalize from this, and Cristian Kirk making one man miss, making another miss, and is finally tackled, but a good run from him. 3rd and 7, Rosen looking for that 1st down, throwing deep for Kirk, who beat his man. Didn't put enough under it, also put it too close to the middle, and Kyle Fuller got the interception and is finally tackled. 1st and 10 now for the Bears, and a couple of missed tackles here on Jordan Howard. Nobody taking advantage, nobody bringing him down. Bostich seems to fall over as he tries to tackle him. Fabian Moreau, the only one who can chase him, but even with his speed, he cannot catch him, and Jordan Howard is in for a huge 89-yard touchdown run, and what killed us was the fact he broke 2 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, 3 people had a chance to tackle him, and they didn't. 17-3 the score now. 3rd and 14, and Larry Fitzgerald picks up the 1st down. You know where to look on 3rd down, but unfortunately we gave the ball away again. And another missed tackle, 2 more missed tackles. As a matter of fact, a 3rd tackle would have been missed. 2nd and goal now, and Trubisky under some pressure, and Bostich takes over and says, right, if nobody else will, I will, against my former team that didn't trust me to take over the role here, and I'll show him exactly what I can do. Holds them to a field goal pretty much by himself there, but on 1st and 10, it's just a pass that wasn't put in the right place, and it's intercepted. Maybe if it had more air under it, it could have even been a touchdown, but instead the opposite happens. It's an interception, but Bostich still there, taking over, holds him to a field goal again. 2nd and 8, and this time it's the right pass where only Cristian Kirk can catch it. 4th and 1 though, we need to go for it at this point. We're 1:38 left in this game, but Fitzgerald double covered. You know, the rookie went for his safety blanket and it didn't hook out here, and the Bears will win this game. There we suffer our first defeat of the season, and it's a big defeat, but I'll tell you right now why that happened. It's because for the first time, we lost the takeaway battle. We had less takeaways. We only had one ourselves. I mean, say we only had one. We had one ourselves, but we gave the ball away 4 times because Josh, not blaming him exclusively, but Josh Rosen fumbled twice, and that really doesn't help. 2 interceptions also, not the best, but also they come when you start having to try and force things. Still not too bad from him, but the rushing game didn't work either. You know, Eddie Lacy trying 10 times for 21 yards. That's not going to really help us. We may have to see about trying some different running backs out. I'm not blaming him either. I'm just saying we're going to have to see who can actually get it going. Cristian Kirk had another big game. It seems to be, you know, right now between him and Larry Fitzgerald, they're taking turns. 8 receptions, 130 yards with some pretty nice catches in there. Fitzgerald 2 for 23. A bunch of guys getting receptions. We wanted Kevin White. This could have been his game. He just, you know, didn't appear in it. But talking about someone whose game it was, let's find him. John Bostich. He certainly tried to make it his game. Coming back, trying to prove a point to the Bears. But we didn't quite. Nobody quite got it going today. Just 1 sack. Bostich got that one. 1 interception. Patrick Peterson got that one. You know, obviously no false fumbles or anything. The defense just didn't do this week what it's done before. So there's no surprise, really, that we lost that game. We just weren't good enough. But after that game, we do have our first skill points to use. So Robert Kimdicha, you will be getting upgraded. And, well, he's already a good speed rusher, so we'll be upgrading that. And I'm not entirely sure exactly how all of this works. I assume it's upgrading the relevant ratings, which I do prefer. I do prefer this kind of thing of just getting that overall up, making them a better player, and kind of, you know, in the background doing these things rather than me having to work out exactly what he needs. I prefer that system a lot more. Thank you very much, Madden. That's a great system, and I like it. So after that one, it's time to move on to week 4, where we'll be playing against the Seahawks. It's not a team you want to meet after a disappointing loss, but to be fair, you don't want to meet any divisional rivals after any kind of loss. It's not really any bigger because it's the Seahawks. We do get to face them at home, but we do also have a new injury, and I do believe, unfortunately, this is going to be... Oh, it's not! I thought it was going to be Shaun Weatherspoon, Mr. Last Chance Franchise. It's Shaquem Griffin with a dislocated elbow will miss 6 weeks, well, 5 games. So what was going to be the Griffin twin showdown will not be that at all. And with one positive we do take out of this is the fact that Shaquem Griffin's absence will give rise to, as I just called him, Mr. Last Chance Franchise. Shaun Weatherspoon gets a starting spot there, which he has more than earned. Right now, I would be willing to put Bostich down because even in his revenge game against the Bears, he did okay, but he wasn't that great. This is not a bad bunch of linebackers either. I really have enjoyed how good Shaun Weatherspoon has been. And then let's move on to the next week against the Seahawks. Well, we'll do a little bit more scouting as well, but let's move on. So here we go, it's rival week, the divisional rival, the Bird Gang rivalry. It's all heating up here and it's going to be hot in the desert anyway. And now, of course, we'll also take a look at the Seahawks and then we'll jump straight into this game. So with the Seahawks, what was once an imposing threat of a run game really isn't as scary anymore. And J.D. McKissick, their number 1 running back with the 77 overall, doesn't help that out, and we don't really need to take a look at the offensive line to know they're not the best either. The receivers, however, aren't bad, and of course, we know about Russell Wilson, but everybody knows still the strength lies on the defensive side of the ball. Frank Clark, one of the ends, the other one, Dion Jordan, a fire sale franchise player who's actually in real life managed to make a little bit of a resurrection of his career here with the Seahawks. Jerron Reed, their defensive tackle, and Nazir Jones with him. The linebackers, Barkevius Mingo, of course, the big-time player Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright as well. We'll have to look out for them. We know they are big hitters. The cornerback position looking a bit different, but of course Shaquille Griffin missing out on the Twin Bowl because Shaquem is injured for us at the moment. Jamar Taylor for them as well, a guy that we sent over, Justin Coleman. So we made them a little bit better there, but the safeties, Earl Thomas is there, and apparently he's happy, and he's not been traded away. And Cam Chancellor is playing for them. This is, of course, a slightly different reality where he's not probably going to have to give up his playing career because of injury, and he's there for him, and of course, he's going to be making a difference. Our guys better think about how they're holding onto the ball because they've got thumpers all over their defense. NFC West duels always are known for being defensive battles, and let's see what happens today. And we start with Eddie Lacy, who kind of is having a revenge game of his own. Of course, didn't start with the Seahawks, but also was let down by them. But CJ Prosise, the man who was let down by them, gets hit and loses the ball. KJ Wright with the huge hit, forces it out and recovers it himself. And we'll see here, Pro Size was expecting contact a little bit earlier than it came, and as he came back up, Wright was there and really put him on his back. 2nd and 4, and they go straight to Gresham, who's having his own revenge game against us here. 2nd and 4, and they get the first down. 2nd and goal now. Wilson rolling out to the right, dumps it down to McKissick, who somehow gets away from 2 defenders. 1 yard line, stopped just short, and then in for the sack comes Stefan Anthony. No problems there. We hold them to 3 points. Not bad considering the turnover. And on 1st and 10, we get a good run, but then on 2nd and 20, we're stuck back here. And a sack from Barkevius Mingo puts us even further back. 3rd and 27, and another sack puts us even further back. And they have the ball at the 33-yard line after opponent. Peterson going for the ball there, but it's a catch and it's a big completion. And there should have been an interception by Ronnie Harrison, but it was no good. But we did get the ball back off them on a 3rd and 5. We'll get the first down here. Cristian Kirk becoming a very reliable target for Josh Rosen. Then he goes here on the underneath to Brent Selleck for another first down. 1st and 10, and he's dropping back to pass under pressure. He's sacked immediately by a completely unblocked KJ Wright. And on 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line for Russell Wilson, who is sacked, taken down by Eric Lee. And 3rd and 14 they're on, and Wilson looking to the right, throwing it across and into a lot of danger. A couple of guys had a chance there. That's another interception we should have had on 3rd and 8. Looking to Larry Fitzgerald, who cannot make the catch. A bit of a surprise there. Wilson in the end zone. We know we like to see the opposing quarterbacks in the end zone, but we don't get near him, and they get the first down with Gresham and Bostich coming in, stopping that run, filling up the middle. Now 1st and 10, and Wilson under some pressure, and Shaun Weatherspoon in with the sack. Trying to run again, and Bostich there. Good run-stopping linebacker. We always knew that. 2nd and 12 for Rosen, finds Kevin White there for the first down. 3rd and 4, and Rosen a little bit of pressure, but does get it out, but Fitzgerald unfortunately not able to catch it. 2nd and 10, pressed against their own goal line, and there we go. There it is, the safety from Anthony. A huge player for us, has been absolutely incredible. An incredible pickup. Anthony and Weatherspoon leading that defense alongside Patrick Peterson, but the offense right now not going badly either. And Selleck, and they're losing the ball. I was about to say something good about him, and he loses the ball, does manage to recover it himself. But Selleck also being a bit of a leader on the team. 2nd and 10 now. Rosen looking to run for himself. Loses the ball as he's caught by the defensive tackle. Is picked up by Mingo. And we turn the ball over again. Just like against the Bears, we're turning the ball over too much. But Eric Lee here trying to help us out with a good sack on Wilson, jumping on top of him. 3rd and 18, going for it. And there's a turnover for us. Fabian Moreau with the interception, an athletic pick as well against Doug Baldwin, no less. Just jumps up, high points the ball before Baldwin even had a chance, and we turn the ball over. It's what we needed in this game. The score 3-2, 1 point in it, but it's not going to help when again Rosen gets sacked and again loses the ball on a fumble. 3rd and 5 for the Seahawks now in good field position, and Peterson can't make the tackle on Gresham there, and Gresham's into the end zone. I don't know what happened to Peterson, but he just wasn't there to make the tackle. Either went too early or slipped, who knows. But now we've got to try and get the ball into the end zone here. No choice anymore, and he gets sacked again, Rosen, with no luck today. 3rd and 10. This time, more time in the pocket. Finds Selleck for the first down. 2nd and 10 at the 50-yard line. Midway point. Throwing this one to Kevin White, who loses the ball, and again it's recovered. KJ Wright forces it out, and we lose the ball again. We are losing the turnover battle in every game right now. 3rd and 11 with Wilson in some trouble. And Odighizuwa forces the ball out. It's recovered by Eric Lee. And we do have a chance again. Odighizuwa with a great sack, strip sack. And we have a chance again. The defense is not giving up yet, even if the offense keeps giving the ball back to the Seahawks. 1st and 10 now for Rosen, and he looks to Fitzgerald, who gets the catch on an out route. And on 4th and 10, we have to settle for a field goal. 2 minutes 45 left in the game. Roberto Aguayo makes it a 5-point game. We've got a chance. A good tackle there from Anthony, trying to be blocked, but still brings down McKissick, and a chance there for Ronnie Harrison to pick that one off, but he doesn't. He's had 2 chances today, hasn't taken advantage of them. And Nickerson brings down Gresham on 3rd and 12, 4th and 5, and they have to punt away. Antonio Callaway back to return. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. Callaway over the 30 and makes a man miss. Now to the 50-yard line, makes another man miss, and is finally taken down at the opponent's 44-yard line. 2nd and 3, and Rosen is sacked. No help from the offensive line. 4th and 13, and he goes to Fitzgerald. Larry, legend Larry gets the first down, but on 4th and 19, trouble again, and is sacked again. We had a chance, and we just ended up getting sacked out of the game. I'll make it very simple. I'll make it very quick. I wholly believe the only reason we lost this game was because of the offensive line. They absolutely ruined this game for us. It's not the defense's fault. They allowed 10 points. That's nothing. It's not even the skill positions players' fault, even though people dropped passes left, right, and center, and other people fumbled. That still can happen. Josh Rosen was sacked. I don't know if it's going to tell us here. No, it doesn't, but he was sacked. I don't know how many times. It was absolutely ridiculous. Every single time he dropped back to try and make a big play, he got sacked. It's not his fault. It's not the fault of the receivers for not getting open. He didn't have a single second at the back to do anything. And you may hear that I'm a little bit annoyed in my voice. And now technically we maybe can't expect better of the offensive line because, well, we tried to make them essentially as bad as possible. But to be that awful compared to the other 3 games we've already played is so frustrating because it was a game we could have won. The score was 10-5. All we needed to do was actually just score a touchdown, and we couldn't get that done. That's the man who woke up naked in a field, and, well, sorry, the man who woke up undressed in a field, and we tried to give a second chance, allows 5 sacks today. Now, Joe Cool's not doing much better with 2, and Grassu gave up 1. Clearly, it's one side of the line that had problems, but we can get over that. Well, we can't get over it. It's so frustrating, but we'll have to get over it because nothing's going to change. So the defense, who stepped up big time, because, you know, the Seahawks aren't bad. 8 tackles for Stefan Anthony. Ronnie Harrison up there again. He's just picking up tackles like nobody's business. The sacks, 2 for Eric Lee, 1 big one. 1 for Odighizuwa, 1 for Shaun Weatherspoon, 1 for Anthony again. 1 interception by Fabian Moreau. Up until now has been picked on a little bit and, well, still actually was picked on in this game as well. But that interception should, you know, show people that it's not the easiest option. Odighizuwa with his sack, of course, forced a fumble. And we recovered it with Eric Lee. What I want to see is, of course, the safety as well. Anthony, good job. But what I want to see, first off, I want to see punting. Because we punted 6 times, that's no small amount. But I want to see, I assume it's under rushing if we look at fumbles. No, I think it was 1 more than that because Kevin White fumbled as well. So 3, 4 fumbles we had. Not interceptions, nothing like that, fumbles. Fumbles, and every single one of them was recovered by the Seahawks. It's... what can you do on a day like that? We tried, and, you know, guys stepped up. Brent Selleck stepped up, but we just couldn't get it done in the end because we couldn't get passes off because the offensive line just wasn't blocking for Josh Rosen. So with that out of the way, we're sat at 2-2. I do have to say, I'm a really big fan of this new upgrading system. We just were able to upgrade Fabian Moreau, and to finally just say, you know, tell us what you want him to do well, zone coverage, man coverage, stuff like that, or, you know, run support, and we'll take care of the actual stats. You say he'll get better in that area as a player playing that, and he'll get multiple upgrades and stuff, so it's not, you know, +1 to these skills. I really like that. It simplifies a system that was, in all honesty, far too wide open and complicated, and, you know, you couldn't really do anything big for players to make them better. We tried it 2 years in a row, and you cannot really build players up that well because it's just too much going on. Of course, certain positions you can, but a lot you can kind of forget about. But those skill points, I really like that system. Now, time before we finish here to scout some college players, and I think you know where we'll be looking. Of course, we'll be looking at the offensive line. We'll also be looking around. I'm still not entirely sure exactly what we're looking for in players, so you know, I need to get onto that, but it's also not an easy thing to just suddenly find out. But we'll take a look today. We'll start with the offensive line. Left tackle's not a good position. Left guard's not a great position. Center's not great. Right guard is the power position this year, so we'll start there. Now, one thing I immediately realized, of course, with the new system of, you know, having run block and run power, run finesse, all of those things, lead block now is a thing apparently that it's going to be a little bit tougher to scout linemen. All I know for a fact, though, is if a guy has run block B, it's going to be good. But with these finesses, they're really going to mess you up. And to be fair, it's okay because it used to be a little bit too easy to scout linemen. You just had to look out for, you know, are they good at run, are they good at pass to a certain degree, and have they got strength? Now it's going to be a little bit trickier to see how good they are just because there's other things to mess with you. So who knows? Impact block, of course, still important. Until I figure out this new scouting system, I'm going to be pretty confused at this stage. So right now, I'll just have to do my best, and I'll come back at some point knowing exactly what I'm looking for. Right now, we'll just look at the first ones. This is going to be a tricky draft, I'll tell you that right now. But that is it for this episode. We're 2-2. I really felt after our first 2 games, well, this could be, a surprise season. After that game, I don't think we can beat anybody because, well, this left side of the line absolutely let us down. Something I do want to take a look at is using Carlos Henderson a little bit more. Of course, first game was suspended, and I think we can probably move him up above Kevin White right now because Kevin White, fumbled, let us down a little bit, and Carlos Henderson has made some good-looking plays. Also, we need to remember to take a look at Stephen Ridley. Plenty of decent things on this offense. I'm not too mad, but also when we started to struggle, I didn't have a go-to play to save my life. I didn't know what I was looking for. It's just, it's all a little bit chaotic at the moment right now with this offense. We need to find those plays we know we can use. But I'm happy enough that when we go into this next game against the 49ers and then the Vikings, I don't really see any easy games there, but I'm happy enough that we'll figure it out. By the time we're halfway through the season, I think we'll know what we're looking at, and by the time we finish the season, I think we'll know what we like to do and exactly who we'll want to draft to help us do that.